Have you ever bought something, even though you knew you probably shouldn't? Maybe it was a new phone, a luxury vacation, a car that stretched your budget, or an online purchase you justified by saying, "I deserve it." Here's the strange part. Your brain already knew it wasn't the smartest financial decision, yet you made it anyway. And that's because your biggest financial enemy usually isn't your income, it's your brain. Michael graduated near the top of his class. He built a successful career, earned a six-figure income. People admired his intelligence. But one financial decision erased nearly 5 years of progress. Not because he lacked knowledge, not because he wasn't disciplined, because like everyone else, he was human. The truth is, some of the smartest people make surprisingly poor money decisions, and the reason has very little to do with intelligence. Most people believe financial mistakes happen because someone isn't educated enough. But life tells a different story. Highly paid professionals carry credit card debt. Successful business owners overspend. Engineers, doctors, lawyers, and executives sometimes make emotional purchases they later regret. You don't have to lack intelligence to struggle with money. You only have to be human. Maybe you've promised yourself you'd save more after your next paycheck. Then an unexpected sale appeared. A new gadget, a vacation, a luxury upgrade. You told yourself you deserved it, and maybe you did. But weeks later, your savings looked exactly the same. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Financial decisions rarely happen in a perfectly logical environment. They happen when we're tired, busy, excited, stressed, or comparing ourselves to other people. Behavioral economists have spent decades studying this pattern. Again and again, they found something surprising. People don't simply spend based on mathematics. They spend based on emotion, have social influence, and short-term rewards. Knowing what to do and actually doing it are two completely different skills. That's why financial intelligence and financial behavior are not always the same thing. Let's go back to Michael. His career was thriving. Every year brought a bigger salary. His investments were growing. Everything seemed to be moving in the right direction. Then his company announced large bonuses. Almost overnight, conversations around the office changed. Co-workers upgraded cars. Friends moved into larger homes. Social media filled with luxury vacations and expensive celebrations. Michael wasn't trying to compete. At least, that's what he told himself. But slowly, his expectations changed. He financed a luxury SUV, moved into a premium apartment, started spending more because everyone around him seemed to be doing the same. Each decision felt reasonable. None of them felt irresponsible. Months later, his bonus was gone. His monthly obligations weren't. The problem wasn't the bonus, it was the emotional decisions that quietly followed it. Why do smart people fall into this trap? Because the brain isn't designed to maximize long-term wealth. It's designed to seek immediate comfort and avoid short-term discomfort. When we receive more money, our brains naturally search for rewards. Buying something new creates excitement. Saving money often feels invisible. That's why spending feels satisfying today, while investing rewards us years later. There's another psychological force at work: social comparison. We rarely judge our financial success in isolation. We compare it to friends, co-workers, neighbors, and increasingly, people we've never even met online. Without realizing it, our definition of enough quietly changes. Here's the part most people never notice. Financial mistakes often begin long before money is spent. They begin the moment expectations change. Ask yourself one question. What's the most expensive purchase you've ever justified by saying, "I deserve it"? Now ask another. Did that purchase improve your financial future or only improve your mood for a short time? Sometimes those two answers are very different. Now consider Emily. She wasn't financially perfect. She enjoyed nice things too. But she created one simple habit. Whenever she wanted to make a major purchase, she waited. Not forever, just long enough for emotion to settle. Sometimes it was 48 hours. Sometimes it was a full week. Most of the time, the excitement faded. She realized she didn't actually want the purchase. The money stayed invested instead. Year after year, those small decisions compounded. Not because Emily earned dramatically more, because she allowed logic to speak after emotion became quiet. Her greatest financial advantage wasn't intelligence. It was patience. Imagine if every financial decision came with a pause button, not because you're afraid to spend, but because you're giving your future self a chance to vote. Would your finances look different 5 years from now? For many people, the answer is yes. Financial mistakes rarely destroy wealth overnight. More often, they slowly redirect it. One emotional purchase becomes another monthly payment. One impulse decision delays an investment. One unnecessary upgrade postpones financial freedom. Individually, they seem small. Together, they shape an entirely different future. Imagine two professionals earning the same income for 10 years. One consistently reacts to emotions. The other consistently pauses before major financial decisions. Neither is smarter. Neither works harder. Yet one quietly builds options. The other quietly builds obligations. The difference isn't intelligence. It's behavior repeated over time. And that's what ultimately determines financial outcomes. Being smart doesn't guarantee financial success. The people who build lasting wealth aren't always the ones with the highest IQ. They're often the ones who understand something much simpler. Emotions are temporary. Financial decisions can be permanent. The next time you're tempted to make a major purchase, pause. Ask yourself one question. Am I buying this because it improves my future, or because it improves how I feel today? That single question has the power to change the direction of your financial life. Because wealth isn't built by making perfect decisions. It's built by making slightly better decisions, consistently. If you enjoy real money stories and practical wealth building lessons, subscribe to Wealthridge. Learn from the stories. Apply the lessons. Build your wealth.